And speaking of luxury real estate, I see that wainscoting that you got in the back. Do y'all call it wainscoting in Canada?
We do, yeah.
And that's one of the telltale signs of luxury real estate. What would you say are the differences between luxury real estate and just real estate? And are there telltale signs when it comes to that?
I would say mostly, like you're saying, you picked on something which, maybe the naked eye doesn't always see, is like those details, right? And it's the craftsmanship, right? So like behind me here, we have a real wainscoting. So, and it's not MDF, it's real wood. So you can tell that MDF is, if people don't know that, it's like a fake wood, it's not really, it's manufactured wood. That is a huge difference, right? Like knowing the quality of the work, the flooring type too, whether it's an engineered or if it's not, the different type of wood, like that matters. So when you're walking through something simple, like, now we'll welcome my clients walk through $3 or $4 million homes. Some of the homes have solid doors and like really high end, like high ceilings. That's a good listing. And then if you look at the doors, if the doors are only 8 foot tall and you have 10-foot ceilings, that tells you right there is like they cheaped out on the money. If they're cheaping out there, what else are they cheaping out on? So there's things like that. The door handles, like these are subtle things which you can tell from a higher end listing as opposed to, of course, you have things like elevators and those kinds of stuff, like which some of my clients buy, which that's not a regular home, but we're seeing actually elevators more and more. But I would say that like the small details are huge. And little things like, and here's what you have to look for is light switches is something that people don't pay attention to all the time. And that's something that I pick up on too, because when I bought this house, we bought it 4 years ago, like we have something called Control 4. Each one of our light switches is $175 to $350 each light switch. And you only get those in luxury links. So when we came and we revamped it, it cost me over $25,000 just to change the light switches and make sure it was on our own programming. Now that's an infrastructure. Obviously somebody beforehand had spent a lot more money for all the wiring stuff too, but that tells you right there, not every single house has that stuff. So smart homes, like, when you're looking at like, thermostats, like that, the age of the roof, not all roofs are created equal, right? If you have a metal roof, for example, depending on the peak and the gauge. So if you look at a metal roof, for example, there's the different thicknesses matters, right? So the thicker the gauge of the roof can last a lifetime. Well, you're paying double or triple for that, which the naked eye doesn't see, right? So those are like small times and small little details of which you should pay attention. And obviously, everyone looks at kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. Bathrooms matter, right? Like heated floors, right? Like where is it? The type of heated floors, like what type of flooring is it on? Like what size is the tile? If you're having smaller tile, unless it's decorative, like the really, really small one, the larger the tile means it's more luxury, right? The type of flooring you have, if you have a herringbone, do you have a chevron? Those types, the chevrons are like this. Herringbone is like, it's a different, they look like the triangles, right? The two different types. But that is double the price, right? So that just gives you that extra feel that it's like, we're in luxury right now, right? So yeah, like little things like that. And obviously staying with the trends. You don't want to, no offense to IKEA, but you don't want to walk into a $5 million home and see IKEA kitchens. And you can tell the difference.
Oh yeah, it's funny that you mentioned those things. I actually recently started a new YouTube channel called Affluent Abodes, and I point out those things. The difference between the chevron and the herringbone, the control floor, the ceiling height, the double high ceilings, the pot filler. Right? You can't charge no one over $1 million without having a pot filler. Right? And how to look at the floors. Is nothing wrong with a luxury vinyl plank, but if you're spending millions of dollars for a house, you want to look and notice that, all right, typically if it's a engineered floor and a luxury vinyl plank, they usually only make 5 different designs. And if you study that floor, you can see that design repeat. But if it's an actual natural wood, then that design won't repeat like that. So yeah, it's a lot of little things, the waterfall edge of the islands and things of that nature. I'm going to send you a link to my YouTube channel. It's slowly growing. I'm sure it's no hot market, but it's getting there.
You're hitting like a lot of the